So, as a Satanist and a Luciferian, I'll just say the whole satanic community is tired of pop culture trying to be dark or evil. Y'all saw how the black metal industry worked, and y'all stole it and added shitty music. It's kind of funny to me gatekeeping, like, dark imagery and being like, oh, Lady Gaga, you're not allowed to have dark imagery. As if, like, I don't know, just the whole horror industry hasn't just been mainstream for a long time. And also, describing themselves as Satanist and Luciferian, I don't know, to me seems a bit redundant. I don't know. But either way, Satanists and Luciferians, you don't have a monopoly on every single kind of dark and horror imagery. That doesn't just belong to you. Funnily enough, every culture, regardless of their religion, has some kind of horror. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we're going to be returning to r/gatekeeping, a subreddit dedicated to people who just they want to keep gates. That's the worst description of gatekeeping I could have made. Gatekeeping is for people that decide that they have a community that they don't want other people in, and that if you're not a part of the community in the exact same way that they are, then you're clearly not really a part of this community, and it's just toxic. It pushes people away from things they enjoy. It's not good for anybody. There are very few forms of gatekeeping that are actually good. The only time gatekeeping has ever really been beneficial is when it's used to, like, prevent mass scalping, you know? But then that's not really gatekeeping, it's just anti-scalping measures. So, you know, it is what it is. Very quickly before we begin, I just wanted to mention the YouTube members and patrons. You guys get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month. That equates to about 25p per video. But if you don't want to do that, that is totally fair and valid. Another way you could help support the channel, if you want to, and if you actually have the feature unlocked yet, because YouTube still hasn't given it to everyone, is if you are on mobile, you can go down to the comment section, you can swipe, and you can hype the video. It does genuinely really help support the channel. Not everyone can do it yet though, and you only get 3 a week, I think, but please do consider it as it does help. Anyway, let's go laugh at some gatekeepers, shall we? Yo, is that Tom Waits or some she? What do you know about Tom Waits? What do you mean? Stop liking your own comments. Give me your top 20 favorite Tom Waits songs, best albums, and why. Do you know where he grew up? Where his influences came from? Do you need to? This is the kind of thing that people say when they are mocking gatekeepers, right? This is the level of stuff that we say when we're taking the piss out of gatekeepers. And here we have an actual gatekeeper that's like, do you know where this artist grew up? Are you actually a fan of their music if you don't obsess over their personal life? Like, yes, I can like an artist and not know everything about their personal life. When I listen to music, I tend to put on either just a whole album or a mix, right? My Spotify playlist, which is pretty much most of the way I listen to music unless I'm specifically feeling an album, has, I want to say, over 2,000 songs in it now. Like, it's ridiculous. In fact, let me find out. Let me find out how many songs are in my Spotify playlist. But needless to say, if I enjoy an artist and if I enjoy an album, I'll probably add a whole album to it, if not multiple albums from that artist. And I like a lot of the music from those artists. If I didn't like the music, I wouldn't put them in the playlist. But I probably couldn't name where most of those songs come from. I couldn't name the exact album that most of those songs are from because I put multiple albums from the artist and hundreds of albums into the playlist overall. Does Spotify Mobile not tell you how many? Do I have to go to Spotify PC? How many songs are in this playlist? I don't know, but it's over 102 hours long. Let me quickly open it up on PC and see if it numbers the songs. Oh yeah, it does. Good. Right, all the way down to the bottom. 1,700 songs. There you go. That's how many songs are in that playlist. And could I name, like, just from listening to them, exactly what song it was, exactly who made it, or what album it came from? For a lot of them, no. But that doesn't mean I'm not a fan of the artist or don't enjoy what they produce. If I wasn't, it wouldn't be in my playlist. Ever get the feeling that most people who call themselves zombie movie fans aren't really? I'm glad so many people enjoy the zombieverse, and it's cool because I want it to be a popular genre so we get more better movies, TV shows, and games. but I know it doesn't mean as much to the majority of casuals as it does to us diehards. Zombie media is all I consume. Zombie movies are all I watch. I don't like any other horror movies, and I'm liking other genres I used to watch less and less, so I got more skin in the game. If a movie or show disappoints, most can just watch a superhero movie or another teen comedy or corny supernatural horror musical or whatever. It's not a big deal. It's a me problem, I know. I'm just saying, it's different and it's more serious and important to us. I don't really understand this post, if I'm quite frank. People that call themselves zombie movie fans probably enjoy zombie movies. That's what that means. You don't, like, the thing with being a fan of something, right, is there's levels to it. You don't have to be the biggest fan to be a fan of something. I consider myself a pretty big horror movie fan. You know, I watch a lot of horror movies and I watch a lot of zombie horror movies. My favorite zombie horrors tend to be Korean, right? There's a lot of really good South Korean zombie horrors out there and I enjoy a lot of them. Train to Busan, absolute banger. But I also like some cult horror fix, you know, like 28 Days Later or what's the one by Peter Jackson? Is it called Brain Dead? Oh god, I can't remember now. It's set in New Zealand and it's got a priest in it that beats up zombies. It's called Brain Dead, I was right. Like a kind of a niche horror film, a niche zombie film, right? It's a dark comedy, but either way, I don't know, I consider myself a zombie movie fan, but I wouldn't say I'm like on this person's level, but that doesn't mean I'm not a fan of zombie movies and that I don't watch a fair amount of zombie movies, you know? But I also like a lot of other genres. It's not like I can't watch any other genres because I'm so obsessed with the zombie genre. I don't know. I feel like you're kind of ruining your enjoyment of things. If this is the mentality you have where it's like, oh, no one else is as big a zombie fan as me and it's ruining my enjoyment of other stuff. It's like, well, yeah, you are ruining your enjoyment of other media. You can enjoy other media and still be a massive zombie fan, right? You don't have to only enjoy zombie movies to be a fan of zombie movies. And it's like that someone else enjoying other genres as well doesn't make them not really a zombie movie fan. It just means that they're capable of enjoying multiple things and they might not be as obsessed as you, but they're still a fan of it. Gatekeeper systems. Oh no, they've founded a company. The Gatekeepers, they've capitalized. That's a funny name though. It's a good name, to be fair, for what, like shopping cart company to prevent people from stealing shopping carts. It's a good name. It would also be a good name for like a home security system, but yeah, it's just funny because gatekeeping. She sat down on my face. Can't get enough of it since then. Whoa, you're so crazy. That's a position, not a kink, bud. But suffocation is, and so is breath control via face sitting, buttercup. Nah, that's just part of the experience, vanilla face. This MF really just said vanilla face? What's your kink then? Gatekeeping kinks is bizarre to me. First of all, because I feel like actual kinky people don't give a shit, right? Someone who actually has kinks and enjoys their kinks isn't really gonna give a shit what kinks other people have. But also, just in general, gatekeeping someone else's sex life is just kind of batshit to me. Like, genuinely, that's just so bizarre. That's such a bizarre thing to be doing, is deciding you know more about someone's kinks and sex life than they do, despite the fact they're a stranger on the internet. That's just really weird, right? That's just a weird thing to be doing. That's a weird thing to be spending your free time doing. Yeah, I'm a Nintendo fan. What you hope they mean versus what they really mean. Now, this is a weird one. But I have a few things to pick apart with this, okay? Because first of all, on the left, a couple games they've mentioned are Brain Age, train your brain in minutes a day, which is apparently what I've just learned other countries call brain training. Like America calls the game brain training. I always knew it as Dr. Kawashima's brain training. How old is your brain? Not Brain Age, train your brain in minutes a day. I'm sorry, America. That's a worse name, okay? I'm sorry, it's a worse name. Anyway, they mentioned that, and they also mentioned Nintendogs. There was another game that is on the left. Those two games are in the top 5 best-selling DS games of all time, okay? And the DS being one of, you know, the best-selling consoles of all time. Like, this isn't like, only true Nintendo fans played Nintendogs and Brain Training. They're like two of the most purchased Nintendo DS games of all time. So I'm gonna put that out there first. Second of all, they also mentioned Duskbloods, which is, first of all, a From Software game. From Software made, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. They also made Elden Ring, which won Game of the Year. Duskbloods isn't even out yet. So not only is it being made by quite a large developer that has made a fairly relatively mainstream Souls-like game now, which is Elden Ring, not only have they done that, but also Duskbloods isn't out yet. We don't know what the reception is. We don't know if it's going to be popular or if it's going to be niche or if people are going to hate it. So putting that on the left doesn't really make any sense because it's not out yet. Also, not all of the games on the list are actually Nintendo exclusives. They also put like Art Academy on the left, which isn't a game. It was an app essentially where you used your stylus and it would teach you to draw. It's just a really bizarre list. I can't help but feel they just Googled DS games and just copy and pasted as many as they could into this, I don't know. Either way, like, you can be a fan of Nintendo's biggest games like Zelda and Pokemon, which have dozens of games at this point. Also Smash Bros, which is like the sweatiest Nintendo game. You can be a fan of all of those and be a Nintendo fan and not have played every single one of the dozens of games on the left, because also who would actually have time in their lifetime to play every single one of the games on the left? I guarantee the person who made this hasn't played or completed every game on the left. They've just copy and pasted a list. They might have played a lot of them, but I bet they haven't played and completed all of them. I'm just saying. Maybe they're not also a true Nintendo fan. You weren't a proper addict if you've not ruined your body for your addiction. You just had a hobby. That's not how addiction works, though. You can be addicted to a lot of things, and it doesn't necessarily destroy your body or, your physical well-being, but it can affect your mental state, your social connections, your relationships, whatever. Like, addiction affects different people differently, and different things addict people differently. You don't have to destroy your body to be unable to quit doing something that you really don't want to be doing and it's affecting your life, right? You can be addicted to a lot of things. Just saying. Be like, telling an addict that, oh, you're not a real addict is like, that's how you make someone a real addict, because addiction is competitive. Now they are busy doing superhero movies, which I hate so much. Comics are meant for children and teens. I am much older than that. This was 100% written by like a 15-year-old, right? This was written by a born in the wrong generation teen, the kind of person that comments on like Beethoven, like, I'm 15 and I listen to Beethoven. I was born in the wrong generation. Like, here's the thing. You can enjoy old movies. You can enjoy classical music. You can enjoy all of those things. You weren't born in the wrong generation. If anything, you were born in the best generation because you have access to the entire world's history of music and media. You weren't born in the wrong generation. You were born in the generation where you can watch everything, no matter what it is. You were born in the best generation to consume classical media because you can consume all of it. You don't have to like superhero movies. I think everybody's getting superhero movie fatigue at this point, right? That's normal. We've been having so many of them forced down our throats that I think everybody's getting a bit tired of them. But it's not like, oh yeah, no, I'm better than other people because I don't watch superhero movies. Like, nah, man, you're allowed to just not like a genre. That's fine. It doesn't make you better than other people, though. I hate when a 22-year-old speaks to me like we're on the same level. Yes, we are both technically adults, but you need half a dozen real adult heartbreaks, some dark bouts with alcoholism, about a decade of depression, and a rock bottom before you approach me as an equal. I'm 25. I've had depression since I was 15, at least, probably earlier. So that's over 10 years. That's over a decade of depression. So I guess I'm on this guy's level, But also, again, I refuse to believe that this is someone older than like 25 as well. This is some like 25 to 28-year-old that's like, yeah, 22-year-olds aren't on my level. Like, I don't know. I think a real adult who actually feels like they have matured and been through a lot in their life isn't out there going, yeah, 22-year-olds aren't on my level. Yeah, we're both technically adults, but they're not real adults. Because a real adult would be like, yeah, no, a 22-year-old's probably still been through shit. And if we're talking about the shit we've been through, the mature thing would be to listen to them. Just saying. I practiced for 5 days and I'm already so much better than I have been. Lol, go look at that recent PewDiePie example. He has practiced for about a year already, and he still is so limited, as he himself bellabores. Can you draw a figure doing things from different angles? Can you draw a figure in perspective? Can you paint form and lighting? Can you even draw in a way where you have control over the proportions you're going for? There is so much to learn. You have no idea. Okay, I'm sorry that I'm making progress in my skill on drawing and slowly getting better. I'll tell you when I can draw the Mona Lisa from memory. So the top comment on this post was kind of exactly what I wanted to say. So I'll read this first and then I'll talk about it. But they basically said, when will people understand that if someone, even a complete beginner, says they got better at a thing, they do not mean they immediately became a master that's better than everyone. What a dickbag. Yeah, right? So this is a person that has been practicing and is proud of the advancements they've made, even in a short period of time, even a small advancement, right? Because you do make improvements. Over time, you make improvements. And especially when you're just starting out at something, you'll pick up a lot of the entry-level skills really quickly. So you will make a lot of improvements very fast. But they're not saying, oh yeah, I'm the best artist in the world. I'm better at drawing than PewDiePie. I'm better than Leonardo da Vinci, you know? They're saying, yeah, no, I've been practicing and I'm really proud of the advancements I've made. But this guy going, yo, come back to me when you can draw everything ever in the world. Like, dude, they're just happy that they've made advancements in something that they enjoy. Like, let someone be happy in something they enjoy. It's not hard. It's not a big deal. It doesn't affect your life to be like, congratulations, I'm glad you're improving. And to OP, congratulations, I'm glad you're improving. First trailer for Marvel Rivals Season 4 with Angela and Daredevil being added as new heroes. Chat, who is Angela? You can't be a real comic fan and not know about Angela. Okay. So I like comics. I wouldn't consider myself a real comic fan. I like comics, right? I had to Google who Angela was. I didn't know. She's a somewhat niche character from Thor. Like, you'd know who she is if you're a Thor fan, but like, if you're a DC fan, you wouldn't have a fucking clue. That doesn't mean you're not a comic fan because you like DC comics, or if you read like any other comics that aren't around Thor and Angela. Like, also, the person who said, chat, who is Angela, never claimed to be a real comic fan. They just asked who Angela was. Like, it's just a weird condescending response to someone who didn't even say they were. I don't know. Green here didn't know who Angela was. Never went, I'm a real comic fan and I don't know who Angela is. They went, who's Angela? And the blue was like, not me blue, but blue was like, you're not a real comic fan. Real comic fans know Angela. But also, that's not an answer. You think, like, I think that's, okay, that's the most frustrating thing about this whole post, is they didn't even answer the question. Green said, who is Angela? Blue said, oh, you're not a real comic fan. That doesn't answer the fucking question. You've just tried to make yourself feel superior to them by giving a non-answer, by being condescending and ultimately answering nothing. You haven't contributed to anything to the conversation. You haven't helped anything out. You haven't suggested that they read some comics and that they might enjoy them. You've condescended them and ultimately said nothing. That's dumb. And that's basically gatekeeping as a whole summarized. And that is the perfect place to end the video, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below. Or equally, you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful people, all of the wonderful YouTube members, and oh my god, English? Hello? A huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me the channel. I still mess it up. What? How do I do my outro? Thank you everybody that supports the channel. It means a lot. Other than that, thank you for watching everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.